to another Ride Along with Goggles, and oh boy, here we are. We're in the Edison. So, when I initially saw the thing, I was sort of, you know, wasn't going to get all excited about it. And then I decided I'd check their website out and see what they're all about. And actually, it's pretty cool. And we can talk about that a little bit on the way. And I'm sure we might have time when we're done because the trip isn't super long, but our load is, I think, 92 or 93,000 pounds. We'll see when we start it up and I get my tablet here. But let's look at the trip. We're in Salmon Arm, BC, and we're going to head this way, go east a bit, heading towards Calgary on the number 1. Look at that. And we're going to head south down here. We're going to go all the way down. We're going to go to Princeton. We'll go down through Penticton and on over here. And, we'll see how much that part of the world is not burnt. Because I don't mean to laugh, actually, it's not very funny. They had a real tough go here this summer with the fires, and they're still going on. There's still parts of BC that are inhabitable, and it's been a tough go. Many of you guys down south used to watch that show, Ice Pilots, Northwest Territories. They're up here. Yellowknife. Wait a minute. Let me think. Yeah, over here somewhere. And they all had to evacuate. They evacuated the whole town of Yellowknife. So it's been rough. But anyway, let's get back to a task at hand. We're going to haul this load down here, and the truck is pretty long. I got the 6-axle version, or 3 drivers, sorry, 4-axle, and 3 driving axles. And yeah, it should be pretty interesting. We'll see what this pulls like, and we'll talk a bit about the truck on the way. And yeah, we best just get on with it. Now I went in and I put so I saw in their spec sheet, and I got their spec sheet on this monitor over here that you guys can't see. And I've got the spec sheet for what they call the 750. It's got its power is rated at, I guess it must be its combined power of all the axles is 750 kilowatts, which is 1,005 horsepower. Pretty good. But that's the electric power. The fuel power in this one is 450 horsepower. So I can't really stand the default sound. It was pretty wishy-washy. So I put in a ZMod 3406E, and I just turned the turbo volume on it way down, so you have a bit more of a bit more oomph in the sound. I've got a 10-speed automatic in it, and I've set my shifter to be forward and reverse. Simple enough. And let's hop in and get on with it. The first thing I noticed in here, we don't have a tack or speedo. I guess we wouldn't really need a tack. The engine's running at a fairly constant speed. There we go. There's that familiar ZMod 3406. Got some information here on the right. Hey, let's see if we have windows to go up and down. Here's something moving. Oh, the sliders. Look at that. Well, I'll be hornswoggled. Oh, that's cool. What's all this other stuff? Lights. Got a 4-way. Oh, that's beacons. Or is that that's 4-way? No, that's beacons. We don't have beacons on the thing. And 4-way should be here. Oh, that's 4-ways. Yep, right here. Yeah, okay, we've got 4-ways. What that looks like on there. Hazards, so there we go. That drive you nutty after a while. We don't have beacons on the truck, but it lights up, that little red light. But I didn't see beacons as an option. And I don't see speed on the dash, but maybe when we get going, we will. And over here on this side, is there any kind of diff lock thing? I doubt it. We got the trailer and everything. We don't have a tag axle, so we'll leave all that alone. And lights. Nothing animated yet on the dash for that. That'll be the switch on the left there, the signal stock. that will eventually have the lights on there, I would imagine, as it develops. Anyway, let's get going. And let's have a little peek at what the gauges are first. So we got suspension load. So, oh yeah, and it's maxed out. It should be. We've got 92,594 on it. The generator, Gen Air. I wonder why it says Gen. Air pressure. PSI, about 115, 120, which is good. 12 miles an hour, right in the middle. Look at that, we do have a speedo. And we're full of fuel. And this is our brake line pressure on the right. Okay, good enough. I guess there's nothing else to do but hit the throttle and go. So, as I said, I drove up here and it was a pretty steep climb all the way. And didn't see a lot of, oh, I wonder if I have to turn the engine down. It's peaking pretty loud over here on my other monitor. Let me just pause for a second. I'm going to just turn the engine volume down. Okay, let's see how that is. Oh, trying to rev it up, I'd have to put it in neutral. Let's see, what's that peaking at? My voice is peaking, and I guess we'll compete one with the other. And let's put on the lights. Okay. So a little about the truck. It's not what I'd call a hybrid, really, or maybe it is, I guess. Oh, it doesn't steer very well with all those drive axles. Okay, but the weight on them now. It wasn't, well, this is going to be hairy going down here because a lot of switchbacks. The GPS doesn't work. Here and I'm splitting gears and messing around with the stick. Oh boy. Okay, so steering is going to be a challenge. All right. Not going to be able to go flying into turns. You got to slow it right down and. Oh yeah, it's not turning at all. There it goes. Okay. But oh, with this kind of weight, we need the tri-axle. But we have 4 axles on the trailer, which is a good deal. The Pizzster Manac. We just don't want to go too fast, or we'll be going off into the toolies here. Got a lot of understeer going on. When we go around the next corner, I'll hop out and we'll have a look at the slip angle of those front tires. No, Jake. No! What? Okay, now what's going on? So usually, you'd think it'd be, yeah, look at the slip angle on those front tires. Like, you can crank it and it doesn't really bite because there's so much traction on that. Those 3 axles in a row are a nightmare at times. Just got to slow right down. I'll test this. It would have been cool pulling a load up this hill, this heavy, to see what, but we got to turn right here, right? Getting ready to turn left. Okay. There's a big sky. The normal truck. Oh, it's still understeering on the pavement. Oh no. Okay. You know what, guys? I'm gonna pause and go see if I can do something about that, and I'll be back. Because that's not gonna work. It's urgent, this job, and we are gonna get there in a hurry. So let's brakes on, and I'll be back. Okay, so we're back. Let's see what happened here. So I'll explain what I did once we get rolling, because like I say, this is urgent. Brakes off, our lights are on. Anybody coming? Oh, good. see if it steers now. Oh hell yeah, look at that, we got steering. So, let's get the acceleration over a bit here and we'll talk about it. So what I did is, I just made a copy of it. I just went into my 270-880 folder, and it's my most recent mod, so it was right at the top. I didn't have to search for it. I copied it. Oh, this thing hasn't got exactly a ton of power here. I copied it to a new folder, and I just took it out of its zip, and I went into the chassis, and I added 3,000 kilograms to the front axle and 1,000 to each of the drivers, because they only had about 1,800 kilograms on them, which isn't much for. You're not going to get a lot of traction if you don't have a lot of weight on them. So anyway, so then I put the new truck into my mod manager and took the Steam one out. So now this one won't get updated, and it'll keep this chassis change. All of that took about 3 minutes. So let's see if we can get this thing going. Got her to the floor. But importantly, it's steering. I can't really see a needle on that speedometer. It's this one here. Oh yeah, it's there, but it's really faint. Hard to see. And do we have this oh, we don't have that camera. Oh shoot. Yikes. It's pretty scenic here, this road. Oh, it's kilometers here. I better be careful. It's supposed to be doing 30 miles an hour. So this is a Canadian truck. And regarding the specs and what this truck is all about, it's a diesel over electric. So this diesel engine is running a generator. Oh, shit down. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I should have went sequential. Oh, that's why we're not getting anywhere. Okay, let's pause again, and I'm going to change the transmission. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, let's see if we... There we go. I don't know if that's going to make any difference if the engine RPM is something we need to know about. Or, you know, how does it work with the generator? How much power the generator makes. Because there's not a direct coupling, obviously, between the engine and the transmission. So I think we get... I don't know. We'll see what we can do here. So I changed. I had forward as like in first gear, not reverse or low, but first. And with the splitter, it's first and third. I had it set to just forward and reverse. So I moved forward and reverse to reverse position is now forward, and the low position is reverse. And then in the gate, this gate is shift up and down with the sequential transmission. But anyway, yeah, this is going to be interesting. It's a lot of load, a lot of weight for it. And getting back to the spec sheet, looks like there's multiple front axles, 12,000 to 14,000. You can have a 14,600 pound front axle. So let's just pretend that's what we put in it to get the extra, you know, extra capacity and weight on it, weight carrying ability. rear axles are, gotta kind of look over there without crashing. So we're pretty far out of my capacity. Wow. Oh, here's an interesting thing. The capacity on the highway is 69,000 to 78,000, but if you're just messing around in a yard, it's off-road. If you're not on a public road, it can go up to 90, or where is it? 99,000 pounds. So that's kind of cool. Like, you can really put some weight on it. So I think I've done a video, oh. Yeah, that's where the flappy paddles would be good, but they're gone. They're over here now with no paddles on it. Oops, that's the wrong gear. Let's go first gear. Oh, you went through a red light. Oh, darn it. Boy, there's some stuttering going on here. With the train? What is going on? Oh, I did that too quick. Jump in here and have an accident. Oh, there's no getting around this guy, is there? Changing lanes through an intersection. Oh, look at that guy cut that dude off. So I would imagine, like, you know, like, oh, now this guy's cutting us off. I imagine the RPM that the engine can spin the generator changes how much power the generator makes, but they have it probably set reasonably low. Now, we're not even going to catch that guy. We don't have the power. So, yeah, so they call it 750, the L750, based on the kilowatt power. Yeah, I'm just trying to think how that generator would work. You know, at what speed does the engine run and it produce a constant? And over that, you're just wasting fuel and RPM. I don't know. Could probably dive into this thing a little bit more and learn more about it. Well, that keeps a guy busy. That's what I didn't like about sequential when I didn't have my 18-speed shift knob. Okay, so what else about this thing is really interesting? Oh, I got the windows open still. Let's close them. That might help us compete with the engine a bit. Oh, sorry about that. Let's see, animated brake. Yeah. Oh yeah, the wipers. Want to see what the wipers do. Ooh, look at all that. Bang. That took a little while to get going. Look at that. Oh, I have to drive one of these in the rain.
Go straight.
So the interesting, oh shoot, oh boy, why he stopped. Trying to get an insurance claim out of us. So the interesting about electric motors, and you guys probably know, you know, I don't know, just, I don't mean to try and tell you things that I'm thinking you don't know, because I really don't know what anybody knows. But the interesting thing about, so you're going, well, Goggles, why have a 450 horsepower motor in this case? And that's cool. And it puts out 1,000 horsepower in from the generator, and you have that distributed amongst these axles. So you're not getting 3,000 because you have 3 axles. You're getting 1,000 total spread across the truck. And why not just put a 1,000 horsepower engine in it? Well, there's a difference in how an electric engine, electric motor, and a diesel engine produce their power, and where the power lies in the RPM band. Is a diesel engine, incredibly enough, makes maximum torque at 0 RPM. So I know that's weird. Like, well, wait a minute. What good is it if it's going 0 RPM? It's not doing anything. But that's where, if you put an arm on the end of the armature of the engine, motor rather, and you measured the torque there, when that thing's struggling against your get that guy in over here. The lane didn't end right away, did it? He coming over there, he's there now. That's when the electric motor is making its most power when it's stalled, essentially. It's grunting away and it's putting out a massive amount of torque, force. And so electric motors are really good. Oh, do we have to get off here?
Keep left.
No, okay. So electric motors are really good for, they're really good for turning really large diameter tires. Underground mining equipment where you don't want a lot of diesel running. A lot of those will be cable operated, if you can believe it, with big electrical cables. All kinds of different ways. But the thing with in this application is you've got a relatively small engine that's not using a lot of fuel to produce more potential power than it could deliver mechanically. Oh, yeah, we're going to be late because we're already getting the hurry up, and we got 86 miles to go. So anyway, the upshot of it is this electric motor thing is great for applying torque and applying power. And in this case, we're able to get that power without burning a whole lot of fuel with a great big displacement, massively, boosted engine. Granted, we got a 3406E in here, but we've only got it tuned to 450 horsepower, which is not going to use a lot of fuel. Got small injectors. It's not mapped or tuned to put a lot of fuel into the cylinders, so it's going to be efficient. And if you look at the efficiency numbers on that chart over there, we hit a stoplight here, I'll tell you what this thing uses in gallons per hour, and this is for the 450 horsepower version.
Go straight.
Okay, so fuel consumption, 100% load, 16 gallons an hour. 50% load, 9.5 gallons. 25% load, 6. And then, so it's not using a lot of fuel. Oh, we're in Penticton. We just got to get over to Princeton. Oh, stop there, dude. Anyway, so that's the whole gist of it. And as much as I like the whiz-bangery, and that's a word, and you know, you can't get me out of a conventional truck. Give me a long-nose Peterbilt all day long. But this is still pretty cool. And I can see the application off-road in particular, like as a logging truck, and that's what they developed it for. That's why we're hauling a load of logs. Should have said that right off the get-go. It's developed for logging operations. So I got my Tumbler Ridge logging skin on here. I just kind of zipped it on here real fast. Yeah, interesting concept, that's for sure.
Keep right. After 50 yards, turn right. Turn right.
Yeah, it's good. It steers better. Oh yeah, like I was saying, I think I did when I was doing ETS more often, or well, more period. I'm not doing it at all right now because I can't keep up. I can't keep up to ATS, so no way I could do justice to going back into ETS and just put myself further in the hole with ATS and get way, you know, I'll never catch up. That's a fact, but I'm trying to get to a point where I'm disappointing less people because, man, I know people are waiting for things and skins to be updated. And problem is I have too many skins out there. But anyway, changing the subject. I think I did a video where I show how to take a mod out of Steam and, you know, put it on your hard drive so that it doesn't get updates. Put it into your mod folder and have fun with it. Because it's kind of cool not to, like if you do what I just did to this one and you change the chassis, axle weights, you're gonna, oh, look at that. I'm gonna catch those guys and get that light. I want to go in this lane over here. Got momentum on our side. Yeah, so I do have that tutorial out there, I think. If not, if you want another tutorial on how to do this weird stuff, let me know. Are we never gonna catch that guy? Oh, now the lane ends. No.
After 100 yards, turn right.
Oh, right, we're going to Princeton.
Turn right.
Inverness. I've been there. Well, I mean, I've been over quite a bit of BC actually, but been there in the caddy with the family on vacation. Speaking of which, our toy run today was a good one. We had good turnout and raised a fair amount of money for the Children's Salvation Army Children's Christmas Fund. And we also got a huge, you know, the entry fee, I think if I mentioned before, was an unwrapped gift for children. So thinking of, you know, kids that are not able to have a Christmas because they're either poverty stricken or they're in a broken home situation or they don't have parents. There's so many sad stories, you know, that kids want to forget them. Oh, I start bawling thinking about those poor little tykes. Anyway, do what we can for them, and we have 2 big fundraising events every year, and the spring one is the dance, the Spring Fever dance we put on, and that raises quite a bit of money. And we use that to fund the toy run, because for the toy run, we buy and make breakfast for everybody who attends, send them on their way, and then when they come back, we make them lunch, make burgers and hot dogs and corn on the cob and potato salad and chips and snacks and pop. We really go all out, and all we ask in return is they bring a toy. And but the spring dance makes way more than we need to run this, so that money goes straight to the Salvation Army main fund. It doesn't go to a specific purpose, but yeah, toy run is specifically for the kids. So that's kind of neat. Everybody has a blast too.
100 yards, turn right.
It's fun, and I like doing the checkpoint thing like I did today. Got hooked up with a real gearhead too, so it was awesome.
Turn right.
We had a really good time. Bench racing, talking about our cars, how we built them, and yeah, it was pretty cool. Poor guy that I was with, Kenny, he's got 29 Essex, and it's like it's a full-on hot rod, and you know, small block Chevy 383 stroker. It's got the tunnel ramp, 2 4-barrels on it. It's got a built transmission, a custom built chassis under it. Like, it's a high-dollar car, and wow, barely streetable. Like, it's, I think, about 650 horsepower. And but he only had a 4 to 8 inch rear end in it, and he was at the track with it a few weeks back and snapped an axle about 100 feet out and bang into the wall. Lost drive on the left side. The axle broke, and it just turned it into the wall, and it's pretty schmucked up. It's sitting in a trailer right now, and he doesn't want to look at it, but he's working up the courage, and a bunch of us are going to have a go at it in October. Well, first we're going to check and see if it's square still or not. Frame's good. The frame's done. Well, we'll see if we can fix it. Like, what can we do? We can get a lot of talented guys. He's already shopping for fenders, and like the front end got smacked and it spun around and did the back a bit. So you got to get 4 new fenders for it all around. But fortunately, whoever built the car, he bought it off. Guy had 32 Ford fenders on it, because you can't find Essex fenders anywhere aftermarket. Anyway, this is a truck show, enough car stuff. It was a good day. All right. I wonder how late we're going to be.
Keep right. After 50 yards, go straight.
Oh. Are we going up the...
Go straight.
Oh. Oh, there's the town there. Okay.
After 100 yards, turn right.
Yeah, you look at this scenery around here and you just imagine, you know, this is what it is in real life, and you just think about
Turn right.
how volatile all this stuff is, or how flammable. And when it
After
gets
100 yards, turn right.
hot and dry like it's been,
Turn right.
this stuff, places like this burn at quite a rate. Got the signals going. It's just kind of interesting to drive. It would be kind of fun. I would like to see what the effect is. What happens if you put a big motor in here? You know, take my 1,000 horsepower heavy haul killer engine, put it in here, would it make the thing go better? I don't know. Because
After 100 yards, turn right.
it doesn't pull as good as my 800 horsepower heavy haul.
Turn right. Turn right.
And what about that Jake? I gotta figure that out. That doesn't make sense because, well, how can the Jake work? Because the engine is on a generator.
After 100 yards,
Unless
turn right.
Unless it has regen and the resistance in the
Turn
engine
right.
is used to go into the motor. But if you have regen, you would just use it like in F1. Use the regenerating power. The engine, the electric motors are doing the slowing down because they're generating power, which puts a load on them, and that makes them turn into brakes.
You have reached your destination.
Ah, geez, I got to get off of the automotive stuff. Okay. Where do you need it? Oh, in there again. Well, this is gonna be a long. This could be interesting because we got a pretty long truck here. I wonder what would happen. Yeah, I guess we better go. I was just thinking about doing it from this side, but let's just go with what we know. I think this turned into a pretty long video because I think this truck is slow. So apologies for that, but hope you find it interesting. All right. Oh, get this thing turned around here. So, oh, yeah, reverse is over here now. There we go. But, okay, that should be reverse. Don't tell me we don't have reverse. Oh, we just keep pulling it back. Okay. I wonder how many reverse gears we got. I'll start turning out of it a little early because I don't want to hit the building. Be all right. What happens if we pull it back again? Oh, we got another reverse. Wonder how many we can get. No, 2. That's it. No high-speed reverse for you. Soup for you. Well, it wasn't too bad. I guess it doesn't drive quite as long as it looks. I think it would. We're going to miss this by a little bit, but we'll take it because I'll let you guys go. Okay, now we got to get it into neutral. Lights off. Wow, it's interesting to see how late we are. Oh, how late? 58 minutes. Wow. $4,000 hit. Oh boy. Well, I guess I shouldn't take any more of your time because, yeah, some other interesting things on here. I don't know about those cables being stretched out like that, or the airlines. The chains are just looped around there. It'd be nice if they were actually tire chains. But that's just chain. But yeah, I mean, work in progress, right? All this stuff is going to improve, I'm sure. But interesting truck, that's for sure. And I think the future of things like this for off-road use, you don't have to charge it up. Like you can go and use this truck whenever you need to use it, which is my big beef against pure electric trucks like Tesla or whatever. The thing to me is, sure, it makes a bajillion foot-pounds of torque, but only at full charge. And for the more you run it at that torque setting, the shorter your trip is going to be. And then you get to the other end, you're not going to put another driver in it, and he's going to head back the other way. It's got to sit to charge. The vehicle sitting to charge is not paying money back into the company and paying for itself. So it's there's just one of the angles. There's pros and cons all day long. The unethical mining of material for batteries drives me a little wacky. Burning fuel to charge the batteries for an electric vehicle to fight pollution. Where's the sense in that? So I don't know. It's a whole other kettle of fish, so I don't want to go there. It's just wild. Anyway, this makes sense because you've got a battery pack. I don't like that, but you're self-generating. You're not going outside to get natural gas or fossil fuel fired electrical plant to charge your battery. You're doing it yourself. A little bit of diesel, as we saw by the numbers up there, it's not a lot. And next time we drive this, may not be tomorrow, but we'll do it again. There's other items up here that we'd like to talk about, like the torque output is staggering. We've got to get to that. We got to get to the chassis options, the different frame thicknesses, everything, frame lengths up to, the engines, the weight, various, all kinds of information on that spec sheet that we can talk about next time. But as always, guys, really appreciate you following along, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye for now.